Driving north into Carney, we noticed physical markers of what we later learned were keys to both the vibe and the people of that community. Several signs were newly painted. There was a generally neat appearance to Main Street. Churches dotted each side, and a comfortable diner destination was serving up a hot breakfast. Every point on the map is a 10-year project to document a meaningful conversation with one person in every Oklahoma town, but on our first stop, we met two people, sitting in a booth finishing their breakfast at Yaya's place. So we interviewed them both. Robbie Clark and Micheal Junebug McCorkle are volunteers for the Carney Fire Department, home of Engine Number 1, the Dog, and several other fine vehicular specimens. Robbie is the assistant fire chief, and Junebug is a self-described rookie. While chatting with them, we realize they share quite a few similarities. They both care very much about their respective families.
My father moved here in 1962 with my grandparents, and my father moved here from Oklahoma City, which my grandparents, they were originally from southwest part of the state.
Oh yeah? What part?
Around Mountain View, Godebo area.
I know all about that.
Yeah. And I used to help my relatives down southwest part of the state running wheat trucks.
Ever since I was little, me and my mom, we used to go down to Oklahoma City, pass out sack lunches, I've always been into volunteering ever since I was little. Me and my mom have always done stuff together, and so it kind of drew me to help here and do what I can for the community to help out.
So kind of like Robbie's dad, it's your mom is a big part of your life.
My mom is definitely a big part of my life.
They both describe their hometown in similar ways. Well, tell me a little bit about what it was like growing up in Carney. What's Carney like?
Carney was nice. It was nice, real peaceful, real quiet. I used to know everybody in this town. Of course, now I work in Oklahoma City now, so I don't know near the people now that I used to.
What is it about small town life that you like? Because it seems that you genuinely do like that and you're comfortable about it.
Slow paced. Not everybody. A lot of people are in a hurry to get everything done, kind of like the old country song. So, but I mean, it's definitely not like the city. A lot of people are a lot more polite around here than the big towns and everything. I mean, the school, you don't have to worry about walking down the hallway and getting ran over by a herd of people. I think our school's got 100 people in it. I graduated with 17, so.
They're just nicer.
Yeah, most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Both Robbie and Junebug started with the volunteer fire department when they were still in high school. Robbie 17 years ago and Junebug in 2012. So are you saying you started in high school?
Well, I got on when I was 19 years old.
And how old are you now?
I'm only 20.
Oh, you're only 20.
I'm only 20.
But you're fighting fires.
Yeah, I joined when I was 18.
And were you in high school when you joined?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
okay. What's the deal about being in high school and joining the firefighter? Because that's what he did too.
I don't know. It's adrenaline that you get, but it's also ability to help the community out when they need it. And I mean, it's experience. I mean, you learn a lot. I mean, daily life stuff. You learn work ethics, everything else in here.
What kind of daily life stuff have you learned since you've been here?
There's no typical day.
Another thing in common, they're both multi-vocational. Oh, okay. But you work at Tinker for a living.
Yes.
What do you do out there?
I work on B-52. I do sheet metal. Okay.
Right.
But I mean, I've handled these big equipment because we had a farm, so I used to run this big equipment.
I mean, I'm still in school. I still go to VOTEC and everything.
Okay. What VOTEC program?
I go to Meridian for air conditioning,
yeah.
And I was also there for their EMT program.
Okay. So EMT and air conditioning. It sounds like you've got as many trades as Robbie.
Yeah, we're all pretty skilled here on the fire department. Almost all of us know how to weld. I mean, everything daily life.
So he's got sheet metal, and you've got welding.
Actually, I went to state competition for sheet metal, got fourth.
That's amazing.
Too. So, but this is airplanes. Mine's got bending. So.
But it's enough to be able to take these
vehicles and get them in shape.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
we need to.
There are differences between the men, however. Robbie knows the institutional history of the department. He knows every stripe of paint on their equipment, and he knows the origins of programs and funding for their new location.
Got on, we had 2 trucks that run and 1 brush truck. We run out of an old station up on Main Street. The roof was falling in on us. It was pretty hard. And now, through training, a lot of grants, a lot of hard work, you can see we got better facilities, better trucks.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of training, a lot of schooling. The truck that's behind you was purchased through a Homeland Security grant,
Oh, cool.
which we had to put up some match money, which the oil companies put up the match money. The truck behind us was built by myself and my fire chief.
Junebug knows he's learning all these things. At the same time, he's learning in school.
Okay, and so what's your role here? What's your title?
I'm just a firefighter.
Just a firefighter.
I probably still a rookie still too. Probably still got that title.
Their personalities are also slightly different. Robbie's narrative clearly establishes his leadership style.
One thing I do feel good about is back a few years ago, we had a bad wildland fire down Wellston. And one of the firefighters from a department north of here, they got trapped. And the truck got caught on fire and they got stuck. And one of them's on fire, and my chief and myself pulled him out. And he's alive today. I mean, he was in the burn center for a long time. But he's alive today because of this.
It's quite amazing.
That's probably, that right there makes you feel good.
Junebug frequently provides comic relief.
A small town life.
Yeah.
Most of my stories I can't tell because most of them are not so legal that we did.
Okay.
But there's one more commonality both men share that happened during the only tornado they've ever experienced in Carney history. Their jobs, their community, their families were deeply affected by the tornado that hit on May 19th of 2013.
How did the town react?
We just did what we could to help everybody. I mean, it was a shock. I mean, I don't know when the last tornado came through here, if there was ever a tornado that came through here.
We've had so many wildfire seasons in the past several years. Then the tornado, it's real hard.
That is hard.
It impacted my family directly because my grandmother lost everything.
I'm sorry.
It hit her directly, and so it was hard for me. I needed to be here as a leader to help these guys, but I had to be there for my family, help them out. But my guys understood that. They knew I couldn't be here all the time, so they stepped up.
So in a way, Robbie and Junebug share one more thing with each other as well as their entire community. They share a trauma bond, a bond that has helped clean their streets and properties, that helped equip the volunteer fire department with emergency management disaster drills should another one come along someday, and a bond that reassures them that Carney, like these two men, are here for the long haul. Our goal was to document a meaningful conversation with one person, but it wouldn't have been the same without the two. We're grateful to them, to what they do for their community, and for their humble and obliging demeanors to help every point on the map begin at a very special place.